Is AI our downfall? This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We just had a meeting of all the tech giants today. And they're all, of course, sucking up to our president. And I'm going to get into that in a second here as we get into this video. But I find it very, concerning that we have all these guys that worked on AI now coming out saying, this is not good. What's going on? And how we actually could have a 30% chance of everything going awry with AI. We have several top AI data guys that have come out from OpenAI, from other different AI that have been worked on, all saying these things in various interviews. We have this guy here, Dr. Roman Yampolskiy, if that's how you say his last name. This is from yesterday. Check this out.
You've been working on AI safety for 2 decades at least.
Yeah, I was convinced we can make safe AI, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized it's not something we can actually do.
You have made a series of predictions about a variety of different dates. So what is your prediction for 2027?
He's like, oh crap, I don't want to answer that question. Yeah, so what's really interesting about that, the guy worked for 2 decades on making AI safe, and now is convinced you can't. So that kind of something you might want to listen to. And then you got all these other ones. This is actually the same guy again. Let me play another clip from this is from Lex Fridman. But like I said, we're going to get into actually a ton of stuff. We're going to talk about all these tech guys meeting up with our president, Billy Boy, the computer guy, Gates. And actually, I got a hilarious clip of that. We got so many things to get into. What's going on in Paris. We got something that happened at Hyundai plant. We got some stuff going on in the UK. We got RFK in the Senate. We got so many things, my friends. Let's just get into this. Let's play this clip here and get into this AI thing a little bit and the big tech thing, because it's about AI. That's literally what our president was meeting about today with all these tech giants.
If we create general superintelligences, I don't see a good outcome long-term for humanity. So there is X risk, existential risk, everyone's dead. There is S risk, suffering risks, where everyone wishes they were dead. We have also idea for I risk, ikigai risks, where we lost our meaning. The systems can be more creative.
It's weird when you think the first one sounds better than the second. You're like, oh, actually, dead is better than wanting to be dead. It's like so messed up, right? It's so messed up. This is, of course, some AI theory on what could happen. He says there's a 30% chance it could go the wrong direction. We have multiple guys here writing a website. I've shown it before, AI 2027, where they predict the direction of AI. And you can just scroll down to the bottom to see, and this is multiple guys that worked on AI saying this stuff. And it basically sounds a lot like the movie Terminator. It literally sounds like the movie Terminator. And actually, the way he describes it on Joe Rogan sounds like something maybe like The Matrix. Like, what the heck, bro? The GOV uses a superhuman AI to secure everything. Didn't go right, though, for some reason. I wonder why it didn't go right. Here you have him on Joe Rogan 2 months ago. Same guy.
Great question. I can give you standard answers. I would talk about computer viruses, breaking.
His question was, how could this thing go wrong? Joe Rogan, what's the worst case scenario is basically what he's asking.
Into maybe nuclear facilities, nuclear war. I can talk about synthetic biology, nanotech. But all of it is not interesting when you realize we're talking about superintelligence, a system which is thousands of times smarter than me. It would come up with something completely novel, more optimal, better way, more efficient way of doing it.
Turning us into batteries, like Matrix.
Because I'm not that smart.
Jesus.
Yeah, like the Matrix, where it turns you into a battery. It's like a novel way. Oh, look, see, we can get them out of our way and use them for power at the same time. Pretty cool. So that, obviously this is a little bit of a concern. Our president meeting with all these tech heads, Mark Zuckerberg, Billy Boy, the computer guy, Gates, and others. Check out what they had to say in this meeting, particularly Bill here.
Well, I just wanted to apologize for every single fucking version of Windows that sucked, which is basically all of them. Also, sorry for creating viruses just so I can profit from selling you the antivirus software. And on that note, sorry for spreading real viruses by profiting from vaccines and shit. Also, sorry for sterilizing so many.
It's a joke, of course. That's not what he really said in the meeting, although that's probably what he should have said while he was there. We do have, though, them all sucking up to our president here in glorious fashion. Of course, the way I look at this, it's sort of a double-edged sword. One of our weaknesses and strengths of our president is sometimes people can butter him up too much. But usually he's pretty good at knowing what's going on. He's not dumb. And I think in this case, he's not friends with any of these people. The fact that they're all bowing to his agenda is, I think, what's sort of the point of this.
Mark, would you like to say a few words about the company?
Well, thanks for hosting us. I mean, this is quite a group to get together.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to work here at the White House and to work for you.
Very grateful for your administration support.
We look forward to working together, and thanks for your leadership.
We're so grateful for that support.
Thank you so much, obviously, for bringing us all together and the policies that you have put in place. Thank you very much. And also, I wanted to thank Madam.
Of course, they were all talking against him before this. Now they're admitting defeat. We have here Billy Boy. Doesn't seem very... You can tell that he's a little concerned. I think he's going to be going away, my friends. I actually feel like Bill here is going to be in some serious trouble very soon. The reason why is because we have a story via RFK we're going to get into in a little while. But you can see it on his face here. He's the only one not smiling. All right? You got Mark Zuckerberg smiling a lot because... And the fact that he thinks anybody believes his transformation, I don't think our president believes his transformation, but he does know that Mark is going to just do whatever he wants. Mark's going to do what our president tells him to, because Mark will just become a chameleon and join whatever side to make money. But Bill here looks a little bit more concerned.
Running. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the media. They've been very nice lately.
Look at his eyes. I'll go back and forth, Bill's.
I'm still here. So we have to... They made a couple
it's hard to see, but his eyes are going back and forth.
That was not good. I've never had that feeling before. I went to an event and people are coming up to me and saying, "You're still here." I said, "What do they mean by that? I didn't hear about this."
So, of course, he's talking about how everyone was saying he was dead. But Bill there, his eyes were shifting back and forth a lot, and he wasn't smiling, while Mark there was smiling ear to ear. Mark here thinks he's convinced everybody he's now conservative because he joined into mixed martial arts and got to be friends with Dana White, and Dana White's on the right, and he's like, I'm going to be one of these guys. And he did that pretty cleverly last year. I think it was like the beginning of last year, because he could tell our president was going to win. So he's like, I gotta change now before he gets in, so everyone knows I'm on their side now. So Mark here pretends to be one of us. It's kind of funny, actually. But Bill here looks a little bit more concerned. And I think the reason why Bill's so concerned is because of what is going on in the Senate currently, where he's being essentially exposed for what he really is. And I have it around here somewhere. I got a million windows open, like usual. Where is it? Yeah, here we are. I showed this over my other channel. Susan Maneras was fired as the director of the CDUNOC for trying to keep, the shots on the recommended school schedule, saying they save lives. Maneras has a long history of connections to Billy Boy and his foundation, such as her time at Stanford for postdoctoral research. She worked in the department chaired by Mark, who went on to receive $50 million from Gates. So, of course, he's got his tentacles everywhere, and RFK has recently fired a lot of these people, and a lot of them also quit, that were basically friends or stooges of Bill. I think Bill is feeling the heat, and honestly, I feel like he's going to get in trouble. A lot of people look at what was going on with what our president was doing here, and they just assume, is he falling for it? Is he falling for it? No, I don't think he's falling for it. I think he knows good and well these people are not his friends. I think he looks at what he's doing as a business job, where in business, you got your personal life, you got your business life, right? And the way I look at it, I'm pretty sure he can see through all of this, because he did that also with another man back in May. Let's play this here. Check this out. Our president just won the 17th consecutive Supreme Court victory.
Put the degree to which the federal courts have been hijacked by the far left into perspective, check this out. Since taking office 8 months ago, President Trump has seen a massive 96% loss rate in the lower federal courts. That said, President Trump has appealed pretty much every single one of those lower court decisions, and as things currently stand, as we've said, President Trump has seen a whopping 17 consecutive victories in the
So he's won 17 times in a row in the Supreme Court at this point. Now, again, there are caveats to all this. My concern is, why is he hosting all these big tech guys? He wants to use them for his agenda. But my concern is, does our president fully understand the dangers we're talking with AI in the job market in general? That's my concern. Another one of my concerns is his VP. We're talking Vance. Apparently also has connections to a certain guy that was over PayPal. And that guy, we're talking Peter Thiel, is putting on a seminar about the Antichrist. I've talked about that before. And we had here Tim Dillon on Joe Rogan talking about this. Let's see if I can pull this up again.
When you're young.
They find you when you're making mojitos.
They find you when you're young and promising, like JD.
Well, that's the thing. JD's going to have to, if he wants to be the president, he's going to have to say, Peter Thiel, I'm not.
The Antichrist.
He's going to have to say, Peter Thiel is Satan, and here's why that's good. JD has to get out there and go, wouldn't you rather know who Satan is and be friends with him?
Dude, that's so messed up, dude. See, this is the concern. Okay, you can't just look at our president as like he's got everything right. He doesn't. He's trying to do the right thing, but I feel like it's a double-edged sword. People butter him up, and because he doesn't know everything, some of the people that surround him give him bad advice. And I think he has good intentions. Our president has very good intentions, but I think he's being manipulated by some of these people. I don't think he's being manipulated perhaps so much by these specific CEOs when it comes to the big tech, but I do think he's being manipulated by the concept that AI could be a net positive overall, and that's a concern. Although we do have sort of like two things going on at once. Our president has now proposed a ban on tech outsourcing to India for American jobs. So it's like, it's not perfect, but he is trying to go the right direction. He's getting rid of these jobs, these companies that steal our jobs. Matter of fact, with Hyundai, they just had 500 people arrested, the biggest ever. All right, almost 500, at a Hyundai plant in Georgia. And this one was very bizarre. This was not workers from South America. This was not workers from Mexico. They're South Koreans. They're illegal South Koreans working at a South Korean company. And that's so bizarre because, of course, Hyundai promised when they had built their locations here in America that they would be making American jobs and they would get money for it too. You can see here, they're actually South Koreans, literally South Koreans, illegal South Koreans here working. They were given $2.1 billion in incentives from Georgia to build a plant under the premise that they would create American jobs. Instead, not obviously not in every case, but obviously 500 workers at least. I mean, there's probably thousands of workers there, I'm guessing. I don't know. Hyundai brought in an army of illegal Korean workers, 500 almost. It's pretty crazy to think about. I would have never expected it to be South Koreans, but that happened. So it's like our president's doing the right thing, but then there's like things he doesn't see, and he has bad advisors around him. Just recently, he came out and said that he's going to have some of his administration to look into what happened in 2020 with the whole thing and the things they were trying to give us. So he just finally came out on that against what he would basically tout for years and years and years because of all the advisors he has around him trying to butter him up, put him in a certain place of thinking. Our president thinks he's smart enough to see through it, but there are some of them that are able to manipulate them in a way that's not good. This is kind of my thoughts on it. At least, though, in a lot of cases, our president is doing the right thing, and he's figured out what's kind of going on, and he knows when there's people trying to, butter him up and stuff. But again, like I said, you get what I'm saying. At any rate, there's that. So then we have what's going on in the UK. Actually, let me show you this video. This is pretty hilarious. I showed this on my other channel. It's just something funny I saw. This guy is in a costume, one of those blow-up costumes, and this guy has something really nasty smelling right here. Check this out. It's pretty funny. It's funny, dude. I don't know if it's fake or not, but it's pretty funny though. At any rate, so that's pretty funny. We have here what's going on in the UK. A complete irony. Reminds me of the movie V for Vendetta. Right? You have here a Hollywood actress. I've mentioned this before, but we have some updates on all this stuff. We have some new videos, actually. We have some people in Parliament also. I showed this on another channel, Robin Wright. She played Princess Bride, I think it was. Liberating move to England after leaving the U.S. America's a shit show, she said. And what's interesting about that is she left exactly when someone in Irish Hollywood was arrested. She's leaving American Hollywood for England. This Irish comedian gets arrested in the UK for a couple tweets. No joke.
Work for the people anymore. The police state and the police work for trans activists and left-wing lunatics like that, and they don't work for the people anymore.
So, of course, he just left the court, I think it was last night or yesterday. He left the court for being brought in for putting out some posts, I think on X, against the whole rainbow topic. We're talking trans. And he's simply just a comedian. And he got arrested for this. And now they had a talk in Parliament about this. They had Nigel there. And he was saying, when did we become North Korea?
Thank you very much indeed. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, for inviting me here today. And it turns out, with news in the last 48 hours, to have been really rather timely. I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr. Raskin. Delightful testimony you gave me earlier on with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say...
Look how nice he's being. He's being very cordial. He's nice while he's talking in Parliament. How did they address him? You got to see this. This is crazy. Check out how he was being addressed. Let me pull this up.
In the house that he was elected to. No, he's flown to America.
Talking about this guy.
And talk down our country. And worse than that, Mr. Speaker, if you can believe it, he's gone there to lobby the Americans to impose sanctions on this country.
You deserve it.
Working people. You cannot get more unpatriotic than that. It's a disgrace.
Oh, you mean you can't get more unpatriotic than being able to express your own opinion in another country against someone on another side of the political aisle, while you in your country are not allowing people to fly their flags and are getting people arrested for flying their flags? That's patriotic. Is that what you're saying there, Starmer? I don't think that's patriotic at all. That's the exact opposite of patriotic. I think I had a thing open showing this that was really ridiculous. Where did I go? I got so many. Here we are. Look at this. Two-tier justice. Of course, in the UK, a man who's part of a gang, particularly not from the country that he's in South Yorkshire. No arrest whatsoever for what he was doing, particularly to, of course, women. Then you got another guy on the right here, actually born in the country, waved an England flag near North Yorkshire and was jailed. So you fly a flag, you're jailed. You're part of a gang, you're not jailed. That's how it works there, apparently. And that's Starmer telling you that you're being patriotic by standing up for that or by agreeing with that stuff. I don't think that's patriotic at all, dude. And I don't know what's going on with your parliament there, but I'm guessing a lot of them are getting some free money from something. Maybe some people with interests giving them money. Kind of like what happens here in America When did your country become North Korea? That's a good question. I don't know. But then, of course, we're seeing some of that here in America as well. Here she is arguing with RFK. Check this out.
Everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying? When you...
She took almost $1 million from these companies. Maybe that's kind of tainted her opinion on this topic a little bit. Maybe it's kind of like, shaped the direction she's went with her votes. You don't think so? Maybe that's what's going on with the parliament over there in England as well. Saw all those people agreeing with Starmer when it made literally no sense. All the people in the UK are like, what the hell's going on? Why do they literally agree with Starmer and none of them represent us? Right? Oh, because they're representing interests of companies. Yes. And RFK has a high approval rating because, of course, he's putting out what we want. He's doing what we want. And he's trying to fix our country. He says we're the sickest country in the world.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Oh, they did their job. They made their money. That's what they did. They made the money for themselves. They enriched themselves. Oh, that's right. They were supposed to take care of our health. That was taking the last seat in the bus. Okay. They were making sure they got all their profits, made sure you couldn't get anything cheap that would help you out. You got to make sure they buy our expensive stuff because we need to make more money, of course. Yeah, of course. And then obviously some may say it was even more, nefarious than that, which I wouldn't be surprised. The fact is, this is the kind of stuff they were doing. You had people like this directing the CDNOC. You had Dimitri here, who loves pentagrams, and apparently Satan as well. The guy tried to make himself look like he was some clean-cut, normal, nerdy dude, but in reality, when he takes the glasses off at night, this is more what he looked like. This is the stuff he was into. And it kind of reminded me of a Greek term in Scripture named pharmakia. Pharmakia, referring to sorcery, witchcraft, and of course drugs. This is a word in the ancient Greek. You can find it in Revelation. You can find it in Galatians 5:20. Works of the flesh. That guy almost fits it to he does fit it to a perfect T. Literally fits it to a perfect T. And according to how the term was used in the ancient times, it referred to these people who had solutions for you, certain things they would create, maybe potions or whatever, but it didn't really actually fix your problem. Often you would have to continue to come back to them for more. This sounds it is the exact same as what we see today in America. They don't want to solve the problem. They want you to keep coming back so they can make more money. If they solve the problem, there's no money they can make off that. It's not about your health. It's about their bottom line. This is what the word pharmakia is referring to. It's a work of the flesh. It is evil, is what the scriptures say. Also, of course, there are lots of other spiritual things that are evil. You can't obviously talk to your dead relatives with these people that are mediums or Ouija boards. You're literally talking to devils. That's something that I think everyone should know about and know and realize. But this one, with regards to the medical industry, it's much more tricky and not so obvious. This guy walks around looking like he's just a nerdy guy that cares about you. I'm a medical guy. I'm directing. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your life. I'm a nerdy guy. I really care about you. No, you don't. You're into the devil. You're literally worshiping the devil. Right? These guys are intentionally deceptive. Purposely doing this stuff. The good doctor. Oh yeah, you're a good doctor, all right. What a joke. Even has it tattooed on his chest. Yeah, these are the kind of people they had. These are the kind of people they had running stuff for us, my friends. Yeah. At any rate, I think you get kind of the idea with regards to all that. Go check out my link page as well below. I got all my stuff linked up there. Go check me out on X, Rumble. You got my own website from 1998, godrules.net. The link page is literally on my main website where you have the King James with the Apocrypha. I mean, you got a lot of different stuff. I actually put in a number of apocryphal texts of recent. You got Enoch, First Enoch, Second Enoch, Jubilees. I just put in Shepherd of Hermas yesterday. Took me about, I think, an hour. I'm pretty good at it. I figured out really fast ways to make that stuff. But at any rate, that's kind of my video. I kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.